Hello and welcome to Toadstool Tarot. I'm doing a little walkthrough today of the Celtic Lenormand deck from US Game Systems. I have recently become more interested in pursuing Lenormand, and this is in a two-part hard shell box, which I don't have the lid on tightly at the moment because there aren't any thumb guides and it's kind of hard to get the lids off. It's by Chloe McCracken and Will Worthington, and initially I wasn't drawn to this deck because I didn't care for the art on the cover of the box, but this is one of those cases where you shouldn't judge a book by its cover or a deck by the box. It comes with 45 cards instead of the usual, I believe, 36, 35. And so you have some alternates in here to choose from, which is nice. There's a recess in the box because it looks like tarot size, but it's not. It's the standard bridge size cards for Lenormand. It came with a little book, fairly substantial little book, with black and white illustrations and some spreads, and quite a few spreads it looks like, and about 188 pages. Mine's a little pried open because I've been reading the meanings of the cards. And it's a pretty nice little book. Gives you for each card keywords, keywords for a person if you're designating a person when reading the card, playing card association, description of the card, meaning of the card, spiritual readings, dark and light, spell use and affirmation, and deities, which is quite a lot of stuff for each card. The cards are nice stock. I think US Games is pretty well known for decent card stock. The edges are a little bit sharp, but not bad. Sometimes I notice cards have a uncomfortably sharp edge. These are okay. It has Celtic knot, I believe that is, on the back design. Golden sort of wheat color. And the cards aren't named, but I'm sort of familiar with them by now. Although there were a few surprises in here, I did have to check in the book to make sure what they were, because this varies a little bit from standard Lenormand on a few cards because of the Celtic traditions or histories or whatever. I think it follows the wheel of the year and phases of the moon. So yeah, it's a bit different. You do have the playing card designations in the corner and the usual Lenormand numbers in the top left. So the first card is the rider, and we have two options here for the rider. And one is a male on a horse charging with a harp. The other is a female arriving more slowly with a lyre. It's a little harder to see the lyre. I'm probably going to work with the male just because I like the action of the arrival of the horse in more immediate fashion, more urgent fashion. Second, we have clover, which is really nice. We've got these blossom flowers for a clover. It's very distinctly a four-leaf clover. And there's a little gold coin hidden under the clover, which I think is a nice touch for a little bit of luck. Number 3 is the ship or the boat. here is the house, which this is a Celtic roundhouse. There's actually a great channel I love on YouTube called TA Outdoors, Totally Awesome Outdoors. And it's a guy from the UK who goes into the woods and builds historic shelters. Like he's built a Celtic roundhouse. I think there's another channel, a Smooth Gefixed, that has also in the process of building a Celtic roundhouse. Here we have number 5, the tree. And we've got 2 trees. We've got a winter one with holly on it and snow. But I actually prefer this earthier year-round one. This is an oak. There's some acorns down here. I like the colors in this deck a lot. So I'm going to take the holly tree out and work with this old oak. Next we have the clouds. Got the dark cloud and the light one. Number 7 is the snake. Here we've got an alternative between a dangerous looking snake, looks like it might be about to strike, and this other one that I think I prefer this one more. This one is shedding its skin. I think that's got some more depth of symbology for interpretation there that I particularly like. Although this moon is very nice, passing behind the clouds. Still have a moon in this one, and these trees are nice. But yeah, I'm going to go with that one. Now this one confused me a little bit because number 8 is usually the coffin, and this doesn't look like a coffin. But apparently, in Celtic tradition, they didn't bury folks in coffins. This is a burial mound. And I wondered how I was going to remember this one, but take a few cues by the dark of the moon, the age of this foliage here, this browning effect, this reclining stone, and this kind of settling mist. These are all hints to me that it's an ending, or a coffin card, sort of a resting place. Next you have the flowers. Nice meadow with wildflowers. And we have here the scythe. Here we have what's usually the whip. I forget what they call it in this deck. Let's see, number 11. They call it the birch rods. So it's usually either a whip or a broom. This could be either or both. I like it. Next we have the birds, number 12. We got 3 alternates for this one. This one is hens, which seems sort of like a barnyard thing. And then we've got barn owls, which are, this smacks to me of wisdom. So this is kind of workers, and this is wisdom. And then the third one are these lovely birds here chattering away. This seems the most indicative to me of speech or chatter that is usually associated with owls. I mean, not owls, birds. They could be singing, gossiping. There could be wisdom passed along, but it's more open to more interpretations, I believe, than some cackling hens or some wise old owls. That's the sort of connotations that I get from those cards. So even though I like the owls, I think this one will read better for me. Next we have the child. And in this one we've got a little girl and a little boy, And although the boy looks rather androgynous, but I'm tempted to pick the boy because the little girl is not looking like she's in a position of play. She looks more like she's doing chores or working. Whereas with a child, I also associate play. And here you have play. It's still sort of planning towards the future. It's a young boy learning, how to maneuver a boat on the sea. And I like the fact that there's a boat within something that looks like a boat, and that is also sheltered within this communal shelter. I like that sort of triple echo there, and I like the spiral on the little banner on the boat. And there's that notion of play there that I like. Then we have the fox, the bear, the stars. I like this one because I often read the stars as guidance, and it almost literally is guidance in this depiction of the card. It's a man on a ship looking to the stars. Could be a wish as well, but it's kind of the way I read the stars. And we've got the stork. Now we have, usually it's, let's see, what do they refer to it in here? Usually it's the dog. But here, okay, so here they have the options of dog or cat, which is sort of friend or loyalty, but beautiful cat, but I'm going to stick with the traditional dog. Also like the stick in here in the ocean. And clouds. There's a few symbols in here that I can look at. This was another confusing one. I thought, oh, maybe this is the path. This one actually is the tower. I'll have to remember this because we're looking up at this established structure. So that's the tower. And this one also is a little confusing because it's the garden. Do they call it the garden in this deck? Meadow or garden, they call it, which usually stands for sort of a communal gathering of sorts. And here we have a picnic. So it's kind of a sense of community or meeting or intermingling of people, which is not strictly a traditional depiction of the garden for me, but I think I can make it work. Here we have the mountain. It seems more like a cliff than a mountain, but I'll take it. Here we have the path or the crossroads. You see what they call it. They call it paths. It usually depicts a parting in the road. You have two directions or more to choose from. You have to make a choice. So I like that, the paths. I love the glyphs on this standing stone. It's quite a pretty painting. And we have the mice inside a roundhouse. It's like a home within a home. Here we have the heart, which looks like some kind of a mussels shell or something. But you can clearly see the heart shape. This is the ring, and apparently they don't have weddings with rings in Celtic tradition. They have hand fasting. That's why they're depicted this way. But just in case you've forgotten, They did include a little ring on that finger there to remind you this is the ring. 26 is the book, which is Mysteries, and this one is closed and sealed. It is a mystery. This is the letter. I love the hagstone on the letter here. A stone with a hole in it. Very magical thing. And you've got the Ogham writing symbols on the letter. Now we have the man. Here's a case where I didn't care for this man. He looks more almost like a Mongol warrior or something than a Celt to me, but I don't really know my history. But I prefer this one here, so I'll choose that one. And just tuck this aside for a second. Then here we have the woman on the cover of the box, and another woman, and I like this one too. I like that she's spinning yarn on a spindle, which I can relate to more than this sort of warrior wardrobe. So I will choose her, and you can see also when you put the two cards together, they stand posed outside of their roundhouse, which is nice. I haven't tried matching any of the other cards up to see if they do that, but here we have, I think this is considered the lilies usually. Let me just double check. Yes, lilies. Pretty colors. Here we've got the sun. There's a lot of seaside locale here. The moon, beautiful moon. The paintings in this, the artwork is just beautiful, and I love the color palette. It's warm and cheery, and I like that these are borderless cards too. You can really, be drawn right into the imagery. This is the key. I like the scrolls on the key. The design on the edge of the table there. Very warm, cozy deck. Here we have the fish. The anchor. And card 36, the cross. So it's a core of 36 cards, but you have, I don't know how many there were, 10 to a dozen alternates to choose from that I showed you. I guess 9. So I think they said 45 cards, right? 36 to 45. So anyway, yeah, I really like this deck. It's quite beautiful, and I think I should enjoy working with it. In a tableau. Yeah. Okay, see you all next time.